Howdy, Patrick here. 8 questions with. All right. Didn't we already do this already? I think we did this afternoon. Um doing a doubleheader today. Two shows. We did the first show, episode 234, 8 questions with fellow horror tuber Lisa Loves. Had a sensational show with her. Uh, uh Great turnout, had a lot of fun. Um and we're going to still have even more fun tonight at 8 o'clock when our guest Anna Thiessen gets here, also known as Kasslove 111. And we're going to be talking a little bit about crafting. We're going to talk a little bit about tarot, life in Canada, insomnia, uh, good food, favorite places to see, eat, all sorts of fun questions we're going to be talking to Anna about, because she's one of the nicest people on the tube. She really is. She's very kind-hearted, and once you see Anna, you will definitely see what I'm talking about. One of the nicest people, seriously. Very caring and compassionate. Um, Tarot reading is, I think it's a gift. And you have to be really skilled at it. I've seen a lot of people who think, I have a deck now. I'm a tarot card reader, where many of them are, not. A lot of people who anybody can read a deck, but not very many can understand the deck. I mean, to understand it. So Anna is one of those who does readings, and she'll tell you straight up about what's going to happen, or what could happen, or what how things will be influenced, whatnot. And she's very kind-hearted about it as well. Very, very humble, very gracious. And something I have never interviewed a tarot card reader before. I've never have, so this will be a first for me, and I hope I do it right. Because there's nothing more embarrassing. Hey, Jaden, there's nothing more embarrassing to walk in there and, like, maybe not knowing quite what to say or how to say it. Which I hope that doesn't happen to me. I'm try. I'm going to try to do my best as far as that goes, as far as asking Anna some really good questions about tarot. All right. Oh, wow. All right. We already got 3 people in the room. I know that Cass Love is one of them. Anna is one of them. And I know she's nervous, and she shouldn't be nervous, because this is going to be a lot of fun. You're going to be in your good hands. Being interviewed is a lot of fun for a lot of people. Hey, there's Major League Fishing Man right there. All right, all right. I keep on wanting to say Major League Walleye for some reason. I don't even know what kind of fish he fishes for, though. Though I do believe that Fishing Man is primarily a catfisher first. Then because isn't that what everybody wants to catch first, a catfish? And then all of the fish follow. Um, Interviewing is a lot of fun. It's really it's just like talking to a couple of friends. You're just sitting there drinking coffee, drinking a drink, and just talking. And the only thing is that people are watching what we're doing. That's the only thing that's different. It's easy as pie. Uh, and believe me, once you get interviewed for the first time, it gets easier after that. And people, all of a sudden, they'll see you being interviewed, and then they'll come walking up to you, and they'll want to talk to you as well. Um, and like, I know for sure, like, I could see Michelle from Makeup Mama's Son. I could see her coming and knocking on your door soon enough, because Michelle's another skilled interviewer. And I am Betty J. Gallers is another skilled operator when it comes down to doing interviews. I know that Bill from More Strong Adventures has been doing a couple of interviews. Our friend JT, who did a wonderful job interviewing the young star of Megan. He did a big interview on Monday. and that was his biggest interview he's done. He's done a handful, and yeah, he got himself a really nice interview with one of the stars, Megan. Our friend Al Lucard, the Bat. The Bat is out there also doing interviews. I think he's going to be calling his series "Chat with the Bat." I don't know if that's the case, but I liked it, so I gave that to him. Uh, so interviewing people is a lot of fun. It's a really interesting niche. Hey James, how are you? Glad you're here. Glad you're here. Those who want to, can share us out. Um, and Anna did say that she will be doing a couple of readings later on during the interview. So if you're interested in that, you can stick around. We will be talking to Anna about that. Maybe she can do one or two readings. It all depends up to her because it is her livelihood. Um, she does get she does do things like this for to help people out, um, and whatnot. So we'll be talking about her channel. I know at least she has two channels. She has a crafting channel, and she has her tarot channel. So we'll be talking about that too. We'll be talking about crafting because there's a lot of creative people here on the tube. And one of the things I noticed too, there's a lot of crafting channels, and they are a lot of fun to watch. Let me tell you. Um, and hopefully in April, I'll be talking to at least one, possibly two channels like that. We'll see. All right. Before Anna gets here, we will talk about the calendar because this is the 1st of February and we got shows to talk about. So tomorrow night, we have our good friend Angela will be here from Morbid Heart Designs. She'll be here tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. And it's been a long time since we've had Angela on the show. A very long time. She was our third guest. And I will be joined by special co-host Hobbs Hoare from the Midnight Hour. And he will be here with us. And we will be talking to Angela about her art and how she's been doing. There's a lot to be discussed with her. She's had quite an adventure the last year or so. And we'll catch up with her and see how she's doing. Next, let's see. On the 7th, we are doing another doubleheader. That's right. We did a doubleheader today. Next week, we're back at it. We'll be on the 7th of February at 4 p.m. 4 p.m. We will be talking with actress Crystal Martin. She'll be here at 4 p.m. Crystal is the breakout star of the horror comedy movie The Mean One, which also starred David Howard Thornton, who plays Art the Clown in the Terrifier films. Well, he and Crystal are the two stars in The Mean One. We're going to be talking to Crystal about her big role and what's it mean for her in her career. She's also a very accomplished stunt woman as well. So we'll be talking about stunts and acting. So it's going to be a really fun interview. I'm so happy for her. Really, I am. I did an interview with her a couple of years ago, and it's so cool to see someone you talked to a couple of years ago. All of a sudden, they're there. Exciting. It's exciting. I'm very excited to see what's going to happen for her. I want to see what's going to happen. What's going to be coming up next for her. So we'll do that on the 7th, next Tuesday. And then after that, at the regular time at 8 o'clock, we will be talking one-on-one. And this was the one I pulled yesterday. I hit by mistake, but it's actually tomorrow on the 7th. We will be talking to a screenwriter, film director, and small library advocate John Oak Dalton will be here with us. Yeah, I always include the library advocate because I think it's sensational. I think it's great. Small free libraries. They're just small. That's what they are. They look like large bird feeders. And basically what they are, you just open up the door You can put in some free books. You can take some free books out. If you're looking for something to read, maybe things are a little tight. Maybe you can't afford a book. You can check out your local free little library, and more often than not, there will be something in there that you can grab and read. And if you want to donate some books, and you don't really feel like going downtown to the library or to the thrift stores or what have you, you could just go back there and put your books inside the library. It's so cool. And we have 3 of those around my house, and I donate regularly. So he'll be here. We're going to be talking Smart House, and we're going to be talking about Sharkula, all sorts of fun things. All right, our guest is here. So without further ado, and I want to thank you guys all for coming out for this. This is going to be fun. Once I hit this, this will be fun. So please welcome our friend Anna.
Hello and welcome, everyone.
How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you, Patrick?
Doing good. This was it's been a busy day so far. We talked to our fellow horror tuber, film buff, cinephile, Lisa Loves, and then we get to talk to you, a master, or is it a master or the mistress? How do you look at it? Uh, is there a title for someone who's an expert tarot reader? Is there
I,
a label? Is there a label
no,
or title?
I feel like once you're at the spiritual reading level, like because spirituality comes before tarot, right? Tarot is just a language to me. So really, the you have the intuitive gift already when you decide to do that, like to do tarot, so that then you learn how to read the language. It's the way I look at it as a language. It's like a tool. And so anyways, the way I look at it is like, if you're a male, okay, since I'm a female, so I'm going to use male as an example because there's a lot of male readers out there too. And so the way I look at it is like, once you become like a reader level, like and spiritual reader level and, intuitive level, then you're kind of like the emperor or the empress. You're not no queen of anything. You're not a queen of wands. You're all the queens wrapped into one, and all the kings wrapped into one, which makes you an emperor or an empress. And
So
that's
your proper title, if someone were to address you, so the proper title would be Empress.
no, just Kasslove.
Oh,
No, I don't like titles. I don't like titles, and I don't like. I'm kind of like. I'm a Gemini, so I'm kind of like the. I don't do things how it's normally done. I always like try to do it in a more way that suits me, like not how it just naturally is. Because I'm about like breaking the rules that were made. You know what I mean? As long as they're for the good. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. Like I don't know how to answer that question.
No, yeah. Well, I mean, because I know that a lot of psychics, most psychics, it seems like, or fortune tellers or tarot readers, they seem to be female.
Oh no,
Madame
there's
Roselle, or
tons of
Madame,
males. Tons
huh?
of males.
There are.
I actually followed one of the male readers I followed, and that was what gave me like that kind of like that masculine energy that I needed to like just really just do it. You know what I mean? Like just watching him, he inspired me. Even though he did things differently than I do, and everybody does different things differently. Every reader is different. If they're not, they're trying to copy somebody. Like if they're trying to be like somebody else, it'll never work out. You have to be your authentic self and do what feels right for you. I can't just schedule readings and then always be on time. Everybody that knows me knows that. Like sometimes things come up and I have to deal with life. And then I, postpone or whatever. And I try to communicate what, my best that I can. And I'm still learning how to like really navigate the media. You know what I mean? Like the whole YouTube thing is a whole other thing. Like, you know, the reading part and the spiritual part, that I feel like I got that down packed, but I feel like the the whole social media thing is where I could use some help.
Well, is it hard to filter your energy and to harness your energy? Is it hard to do through this medium, through social media? Because there's no, I mean, there's a basically it's a barrier. You're not in contact with your subject, with the to do your reading. I mean, we're talking right here. Do you find
Well,
it
for
hard?
me, for me, I'm not trying to interrupt you, but I know where you're going with this because I kind of feel it because I feel things before they happen. I I just kind of just I go with what I feel like, and I already went through all of the so we're light workers. We are for the light, but we have to go through the darkness to see the light to show others, right? You know what I mean? Like, so you have to kind of walk through the valley of doubt to really, that strengthens your faith. It's you if you still have faith after a lot of things that losses and stuff like that, then you've made it. You know what I mean? Then you're on the right path. Like, and that's really about your spirit, what your spirit wants.
So it doesn't really matter if we're like 2,000 miles away. You can still read energy with no problems, right? It's not a struggle for you to read your energy and to communicate
Actually, it's better for me to do it this way because in
really.
person, it's very amplified for me. And it's sometimes overwhelming to be in person with people and feel their energy, like right across the table. Like I've only done that a couple times, but it is very almost invasive to me because I'm not used. I didn't start that way. I didn't, you know what I mean? And I even know that how much negative energy had been sent to me at the beginning to try to make me fail or try to make me give up because they do that. Like as soon as they see you growing, slowly but surely, even if they see you slowly but surely, they still want to come. They know that whatever grows slowly will be stable and last. And so the negative energies that really just used all the negative energy to get where they wanted to get, that everything that goes up must will come down, right? Like, you know what I mean? So
So you've only done a couple of face-to-face readings. So it's just safe to say, I mean, just instead of a reader, I mean, would you describe yourself as an empath? I mean, do you
yeah,
feel?
I'm an empath. I feel people so much that I have to sometimes distance myself from the people I really care about when they're going through stuff and they don't really pay attention to what I'm telling them to do, or you know what I mean? I'm not going to feel your pain, so I block that.
Yep.
I've learned to do that.
So yeah, that's to me, that's the number one difference between a real reader and a fake. You got people who can read, but there's no empathy there. There's no compassion. They're
Yeah.
just there to read, and even then, they're not even reading. They're just they're not there. Someone with a real healing spirit, a real empath who's really interested in seeing what the cards are telling them. Um, they you can definitely sense that. I was just wondering if people who like if I'm right here, like I can tell you right now, you read for me once. Um, you did one reading for me, and yeah, it was really it was interesting. It was interesting because you were hitting a lot of things, a lot of my energy without me telling you. Now there's nobody, and I do mean nobody, anybody I see that could do that right now. I mean, there's nobody. But that's one of the reasons why I asked to talk to you, because I sensed that.
In
And so,
response to Sorry, in response to that, I want to say that um, I have learned that I really do need the archangels every day that I do a reading, or every day that I question something, or if I doubt myself, I pull a card, and it's just amazing how the answer is just like it's just like so blunt. Like that's how I understand the angels now. My communication with the angels are now so clear that it's blunt. It's like I feel stupid sometimes for asking them. I know they're already around anyway to answer anything I need. But I try not to be like, I am codependent on them. Like, so I'm just the middleman. I'm just that, like, that physical um, person that can kind of bring those messages that a lot of people need to hear. And the reason I do like to do the general and just like for whoever, and also I really learned the astrology, so we can put it into groups of that, right? So the people that are trying and that sign or whatever, and that astrology sign is for those groups of people that are trying to better their life and that are inspired. That's who it's for. So when you're doing the reading, you really don't doubt yourself. You just go with what you feel like is the right thing for what the energies that you are picking up on, the people that you're picking up on around you. And I used to be really scared of, like, the evil witches and warlocks and stuff like that, and the evil energy out there and stuff like that. I'm not afraid of it anymore because I
Because
know that
you, you-
I'm not afraid to speak about, like, the one that I feel like is in charge. Is like, there's only one God, and he's a jealous God. So I know that he's only one that can really make anything happen. So always go through him first.
uh, here comes our friend and new Horde Tuber of the Month. I am the Ice Lord. Wes is here. Greetings, Wes. Greetings.
Yeah, JB's been on my channel a few times, and he's learned some of his own energy as well. Like, he could probably, like, tell if he wanted to talk about and chat to the people about, like, some of the negative energy that I've helped him, like, to learn to balance in himself.
Where did you get your start in this, Anna? Because I mean, I know it had to be very, very young, right? You're what, between 12 and 9 and 13 when you first became aware of your abilities?
My spiritual insights. I was
Yeah.
very young when I first realized that I was gifted, but I didn't really know it was a gift. I almost felt like sometimes I was cursed, because I feel like sometimes when I felt things that were negative about people, that I felt was going to happen, and I always felt like I was, like, almost willing that or wishing that, and I almost felt like I almost felt guilty for, like, feeling it. You know what I mean? Like,
How old were you when that happened?
as long as I can remember.
So about definitely childhood, though.
Yeah. But I
Um,
never really understood how to use all those gifts and stuff. And, like, I didn't understand my energy either. And I see that in a lot of other people too, that when they're around a certain situations, or, they say it's triggers, right? Or whatever, like, but it's not triggers. It's like they feel that person's energy, and then they may act out or may say things that they are really regret saying, or, it's like almost like you become like a um, where you just say things that are not proper. I forget what that they have a title for everything,
inappropriate?
right?
Were you did you and your family go to church a lot when you were younger? Were you church going people?
My parents went to church until my dad was he's kind of a legend, like, in the Mennonite German community where we grew up. What my gifts would have never been accepted there. um, but my dad was like a self-learning mechanic, and that was his gift, and that was brought him passion. And so he got a truck, and he was the first person in the whole town that got a truck. It was a very religious town that we lived in, community. And so he got kicked out of the religion for that. And as soon
Because
as my
because,
dad
because he owned a truck.
yeah, so as soon as my dad owned the truck, and then everybody else in town go, well, he can own a truck, and da 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 da. Well, we'll just leave the religion too, if that's what it means, then we can have a truck too, right? And so then they didn't want to lose all their people in the church, so they would. I remember this clearly, and so they said, well, you can own trucks, you can own vehicles, but you can't bring them to church yard. So if you drove to church in your vehicle, you have to leave it on the road.
Mm.
So my
Um,
dad never wanted to go back and join that, the Mennonite religion after that.
well, when you were 9, when you first discovered it, I mean, you mentioned your abilities wouldn't be welcome in their community. No, I understand
Well,
that.
maybe they're more awoken now. I don't know. Like there's like a lot of new age Mennonites now, and they understand a lot of different ways.
Interesting.
But
Really,
there's
that's
also some that are still way back, right?
right, right. Um, because there's several religions that consider what you do, and where do you feel about that? There's several people, there's several religions that consider you to be what we would call a white witch. And
Like I said, I don't like titles
yeah, no, but
because
other people,
I do
I
things
know,
my
but
own way.
yeah, that's what people. That's I mean, I don't like titles either, but I mean, it's just. I mean, then people have called you that, I'm sure, and I'm sure you probably told them that. No, that's not a title I really particularly want. But I mean, it's just in the church. In the church, that's what they would consider that. But
Yeah,
when
but
you were,
when you really look in the Bible, there was people like that anyway.
oh yeah, there. I mean, people. Tarot's been around. I mean, tarot and this been around for eons. You know, who knows when it first started?
Well,
You
for me,
know?
it didn't start with tarot. Like it just started with my spirituality and
Right.
me being like the prayer warrior for everybody. I was always praying for everybody, and I literally really was serious when I was praying for people. And you know, and so my prayers were answered all the time. And so I started learning to really have my faith. And when I left a really bad situation as an adult, I left a situation of like someone that was it was really heavy, uh, uh, dependent on his pain medication. Let's just keep it clean.
Yeah.
And so it went to the point where there was no reality with him. I left that with my children, and it saved us. But at the same time, it was like if you stay, you may not make it. If you go, you have a chance.
Right.
Like you know, if you go, you have a chance. So I packed up my little Ranger. I had a topper, you know, and then I, you know, packed up my two boys and my dog and my cat, and off we went, you know, and we made it, but barely. You know, my truck was pretty broken, and but we made it to where we needed to go, and I
Well,
just prayed.
let me just go back real quick because I don't want to get too far ahead. I'm really curious. I'm really curious. When was the first time you experienced your gift? You know how, you know, like when you really, you know, because I'm sure when you're young, I mean, anybody, you know, anybody who experienced it that young, any sort of spirituality, it's really scary for them. You know, it's like you don't know what's going on. I mean, and then you go up to somebody, sit there and say, "Excuse me, but I feel like, you know, they're." You go into today, you say, "I feel like there's voices talking to me now." You know, when you're 12 or 13, and instantly they want to medicate you. You know,
Yeah. Well, I never heard
instead
voices. It was just thoughts, my thoughts, because I'm an air sign, so I think a lot, you know. But it logically makes sense because of the astrology part, right? So I learned astrology in my 20s.
okay. Now that was a natural progression, right? What led you to astrology?
Wanting to know people's brain. I never wanted to go to school for psychology or anything like that, but I literally did like practice psychology just whenever I met people, and I used to work in a bar, so that gave me a lot of like um, opportunity to meet a lot of different people and really get to know them. Um, so yeah, I always wanted to get to know people's personality. And every person that I always met, I always asked them what sign they were. So it started
Right.
out with sun sign, right? Like their astrology sign. Like, are you a Leo sun? You know, a Gemini sun, or you know,
Were you
Scorpio.
surprised the first? Were you surprised, Anna, the first time that you found yourself asking anybody that? Like, you know, did you, you know, did that happen naturally? Or was it suddenly like you found yourself, what's your sign? And you really didn't necessarily need to ask that question, but you felt led to
Well,
ask
if you
that
had to,
question?
where I worked, what I did, you had to have a conversation starter, and that was a good one.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So, and if they didn't understand astrology sign, then I would say, "What's your birthday sign?" Then everybody knows what that means, right? So,
Um, so how old were you how old were you when you first did your first reading?
when I did my first reading. I was probably 32. Actually, the first deck of tarot cards I was given a deck of tarot cards by a warlock. And this was my time in working in the bars. I met somebody that was a warlock, and this person gave me a deck of cards, and I didn't have no clue what that even was, right? He just must have saw it in me, and he gave me a deck of cards, and I left them in my car, in the trunk of my car. I don't know how they ended up there, but I left them in the trunk of my car, and they ended up getting wet or whatever. I never thought about them. And then after all this stuff happened with the last relationship at that time, 2009 is when I left. And then I moved, and then I like going thrifting and stuff. So I found a box of tarot cards with the book and all the information and all that. So I brought it home with me. And at that time, I was questioning a lot of things, and I really wanted to meet Sylvia Brown, right? And
Yeah.
or other older spiritual ladies, and I ended up meeting them. I'll get to that in a minute. But I ended up practicing the book. I was just playing with it, and I just like pulled myself some card, and I got the High Priestess. And in that deck, it said the High Priestess said that. In that deck, the High Priestess said, and I remember that it said that I was going to be working with, I had choices. So I was going to be either like working with the clairvoyance, like tarot, spirituality, like that, or I was going to be into bibliology, like where you basically dissect the Bible. You basically explain the words in the Bible and what they mean.
Starlight mentions tarot cards have been around since the Old West, like in the movie Tombstone. Yeah, they've been around even before that. They were around during. They were, as far as the cards go, I think they've been around since. If I'm not mistaken, you'll tell me, of course. But hasn't tarot been around since at least the Egyptians?
It's been around a long time, but when you really look at it, like language engraved in something, like rules or whatever, like even biblical verses are, that's how they used to communicate, right? Like they used to communicate through ruins. It even started with ruins first, I probably remember. I don't know, as I said remember, it's probably my past life, but like ruins are probably before tarot even. Like I've never really looked into it like that deep, but ruins came, they were symbols, and symbols made words, and that was before people even knew how to spell words or new words. That was before language even came up. That's when ruins were used as language and communication.
Go back to the deck. The tarot deck. Yes, you said that you found one at a thrift store. Aren't tarot decks supposed to be, like you said, you got your first one by a warlock? Isn't that how you're supposed to get your deck though? Buy another one with a gift? Or it's not as easy.
Yeah, your first one. First one you should be given to somebody. Should probably give you a deck of cards. Somebody that has, if you don't know about it, like if you haven't learned it or whatever.
Well, someone obviously that knows what they're doing. I mean, if I gave you a deck of tarot cards, it wouldn't mean anything. They wouldn't work for you, would they? If someone
no, actually, anybody can give somebody that does it for a living a deck, because that means that when the gift came from you, there may be more messages even for you in that deck. Because I did get a deck gifted to me. And it's a beautiful oracle deck, and I do oracle too, like oracle cards. But this oracle deck, it's a beautiful deck, and I love reading with it, and it's more a very spiritual deck. And the person that gifted it to me, I'm like, she gets so many messages from that deck. So I don't use a lot of the decks for myself. The only deck I really use for myself is the angels. That's the decks. I don't really use the tarot much for myself. Once in a while, I've been thinking about doing a reading about myself and stuff like that. and doing it in public, so you all know about my life. But I have only maybe done it once, and it was just to see what it was like.
Oh, what? How did that work out? Reading your own cards.
When you first do it, you kind of can read it towards you what you wish more towards, and you can read the other messages into it too, but you can lean more towards what you wished for it.
Telling that, yeah, that's not a good thing because that it's. I mean,
There's always
anything that leans into something like that is not. It isn't necessarily, it's easy. I guess if everybody would do that, right? If it was that simple and everyone to have a good fortune, they
yeah.
could
I
do
need my own tarot readers too. You know
right.
what I mean? Like, are my own spiritual light workers and stuff that keep me on my right path. And I do have some readers that I want to make a video and do some shout outs to the ladies that I have been learning a lot from. Um, I don't watch the readings for per se love or whatever, like at this time right now. I more watch it for like um, life and positive things coming into your life and stuff all around, not just love.
Do you ever get scared when you do a reading? And do you ever like, do you ever get like, yeah, do you ever get scared about what you're doing? Does it scare you sometimes?
No, not really. Because when I'm not in the right energy, if I'm like I was like when I'm overtired or hangry, hungry but angry, angry, I
And
don't do anything because I don't want to project my energy. So I try to like whenever I'm feeling like that, because I'm still human, so I'm still going to have those moments where I feel like that a lot. Some days depends on how many people's stress I have to deal with that I love and are very close to me, right? And I may not share that with other people because I don't want other people in my personal business, right? Um, so so when I'm in that energy where I have to deal with a lot of personal stuff, I may just stay off the internet because I've learned that doesn't lead to nothing nice.
uh, what's been so what's Star was saying why get scared? Well, it's sort of unharnessed power out there.
Not really if you keep it like with your angels protecting you, because you have to learn how to protect yourself too. You can't just go out there and say, I'm gonna do tarot and okay, so
Right.
I'm gonna be a little bit reactive because that's how I speak about some, like when I've heard some, there's some that are so cocky and they're like, oh yeah, they get all like, there's some young girls that are into getting into tarot, and just a little advice for them. Just let your ego not control it because it will hurt. It will hurt.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's not as easy as just picking up a deck of cards and start reading. It's you when you do this, there's a lot of forces out there around you.
Yeah.
So you have to be aware of that. Before you read, what do you do to? I mean, I don't think this is applicable, but I don't sure. Um, is there anything you do to prepare yourself before reading? Do you do you put up wards or anything like that? I mean, self protection or anything before you get into your reading? Do you have any sort of rituals that you do to before you get into it?
I work with my archangels, so I basically just confirm it with them that I should be doing it, and then whatever I read in that angel card and whoever the angel is, I appreciate them and I say thank you for being here, and then I get started. And sometimes I burn sage, and if I don't have sage, I burn one of my incense that I've made myself. And a lot of us that are spiritual light workers, we like to create our own protection um, things like sage. I want to start growing my own sage, but I like it to be very sacred when I do protect myself, because I don't want my spirit to ever be attacked. My emotions have been attacked in my life. My mind has been attacked in my life before. I haven't been physically attacked, other than sometimes you can physically get sick from that kind of stuff, from the emotional and verbal attacks that you get from people. And as you know, as a YouTube creator, that happens all the time.
Yeah, I would think that some people. I think people who attack people doing what you do. I think they attack clearly from the dark and from the ignorance. They don't know why they're attacking somebody. The only thing they've been told, they're attacking something they don't understand. I think that's natural. It's they don't understand what you do, how you do it. A lot of them will see, a lot of them don't understand it. They don't believe it. They say they don't believe it, yet they're the ones doing the attacking. So somewhere deep in their core, they do understand what you do, and they're scared of you. A lot of
No, but
people.
a lot of no, they're not scared of me. They're scared of their own spirit.
Has anybody ever reacted to you? Has anybody ever told you that though, that they're scared of you?
No, actually, a YouTube creator told me that people were scared of me. I'm like, why? Like, one of the YouTube creators said that to me, and I was like, why?
Probably because of your ability. It's your ability. I mean,
No,
you're.
because they know they can't mess with me. Like, even
Mhm.
if I don't say anything, I don't react to everything. And that's when you know you're ready to do this full time, is when you know that you can, if somebody, does that, you can if they don't have good intentions and they use you, or they try to use you, it will backfire on them. And that's what the fear is. Like, if you don't come correct to me, like if you don't, your mind, your intentions, your heart isn't in the right place towards me, then don't come and ask me nothing, right? And there's a
Right.
lot of creators that pretend to have my back, that have not been supportive in my chat or whatever when I needed them. Their positive energy, and those are the people when towers fall for them, or shit hits the fan for them. Can I say that?
Yep.
Um, Poop. When that hits the fan, they come to me and they expect free advice, and it's like, oh, hello, now you know I exist. Oh, okay.
Mm,
So you
wow.
have that reaction, and it's like, and then they stay away. It's like, okay, whatever. So
Ha-
then that
ha-
person, it's not towards me, it's towards themselves. They don't trust
Yeah.
themselves.
It's there's some people. I mean, have you ever tried to warn anybody away? That because they don't have the capability or understanding of doing what you do. It's like I said. It's like you will never see me pick up a deck of cards and try to do what you do. That will never happen. That
I
will
feel
never
like
ever happen.
if you have interest in it, um, the best place to start is to learn to protect your energy, and to learn about your own energy, and before you allow other energies to enter your aura.
Uh, so what's it like? I
Thank
mean,
you,
because
babe.
a lot of psychics, a lot, especially a lot of the TV psychics, they always ask. This was one thing I noticed right off with you right away too, and that is your tone, your tonal voice, your voice, the way you use your voice. Now, when you read me, there was no questioning what you were reading. You were reading me,
I
but you
don't
weren't.
remember the reading, but
Uh, oh, I do.
but I'm
Uh,
glad that you do. But I'm not supposed to remember everybody's reading, though. That's
But I noticed, this is what I noticed. This is when I saw you do the readings for me. One of the things is, like, even now I'm noticing it too. If you notice in Anna's voice, you ever notice how she never leaves it with a question? It's never a question. Like a lot of psychics or readers, when they do try to read, or they always do leading questions. It's not like a question like, what color are you, or what's your favorite color. It's like, I'm getting that your favorite color is blue, and it's a question. It's not a answer. And a good reader, someone with the real ability, the real gift, they don't have to ask. They
well, we
know.
all have different. A lot of people have different gifts, so they could be sensing that. They could be sensing that your favorite color, blue, right?
I'm not.
Um,
Anybody that's leading me with a question, I highly
yeah.
doubt.
No, but that's maybe just to create like a safe space. Maybe that's what they do, is they question you to
They're
see
guessing.
if they're on point so far.
Yeah, they're
And
guessing.
maybe that's just to build that comfort zone between you and the reader. I don't know why readers do whatever, but I don't question anything that I do once I'm guided by the angels. And it also matters like who you call in. Like there is some negative readers out there that are kind of playing with fire when they calling in some weird energy that they don't really understand or how to stop it if it try to control them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
I
I
don't
do.
play
I
with
do.
that. I don't play with
Uh,
that.
no, that's yeah. You like I said, told Star Lord. It's just it's untapped for us. It really is. You know, you have to be able to know what you're doing to tap into it. Wes knows what I'm talking about as well. Wes is pretty knowledgeable. Um, uh, uh, so so you how did you get your start in YouTube? I mean, how did you feel comfortable enough to show off your gift and here in this medium? Were you led to do this? Were you led, were you led to do readings for people here, or was it something you started doing on your own?
When I started it before the C word, the CO word. But anyways, I started it before that, but I may have felt that coming because I was like on a fight or flight mode. I had just like I had just me and my boyfriend I was really happy with, and we were really happy, and then all of a sudden boom, out of nowhere something really happened, and then I just questioned everything about love and everything, so I just wanted to walk away from that and just focus on my tarot. And every day I just learned tarot every day. I woke up morning, made my coffee, go outside, lay it on the lawn, studied the book. I studied the tarot book. I went and got myself a new, like I didn't have that deck that I used to have, but I went and got myself a deck, and that was before we even had anything like that around here. We in a small town. And so I went to the town next to us, and I had to go to a bookstore to find a used tarot set with a book and all that. So I learned with that. And then as I was learning and as I was starting my YouTube channel, uh, there was somebody that got jealous people in town, whatever, that didn't have the gifts that I have, but they opened a spiritual shop. What I wanted to do, I wanted to have mine in a spiritual shop where, I'm professional. I'm not in my home. But then COVID happened, and then these people, same people, came into my chat and caused a lot of trauma. And I really, tried to defend myself at that time.
Why is there so much infighting? I've never seen that before. I've
I
never
even tried to work
heard
with these people, but no, they were just jealous. I mean, they started it, I think, because of me. But anyways, I started on my own. Like, it was like, I'm giving up on love for now, and I just want to figure shit out, and I want to find my soulmate.
Do you think that they were jealous of you, or were they scared of you, or both?
I think it was more as both. And then one day it was envy, a lot of envy because of the when COVID happened, their shop shut down. And me, I didn't shut down because I was online. I'm all over the world. So my business grew, like my channel grew slowly, and I got the right people in my channel, the people that are kind and and not like that. And those kind of people, they kind of like, a lot of them got blocked, so they don't have no access to my chat anymore. So I'm good. I have quite a few blocks in my blocks.
Or they still can see it, but you made it a lot harder for them
To
to read.
interact. Yeah.
Yeah, to interact. Yes. Would it safe to say, honestly, someone with the true ability such as yourself, those are the people they're not jealous of you, right? I mean, it's they have their own, they're comfortable in their own power set, right? They're comfortable.
They should
The
be,
people,
right. The
right?
right
The
the
people
people
who
that are
understand,
right, the
right?
people that are centered and right, and they have their chakras aligned, they will see that, not to be jealous. And if they do have their own gifts, then they will use their gifts instead of trying to copy somebody else's.
I wouldn't recommend trying to do that. But let me ask you this question. So how do you prepare a deck? I mean, like when you get a brand new deck, what do you do? I mean, I know it's not just as simple as getting a deck and then unwrapping it and then they're like, okay, here we go. What does it take to imbue your deck to align it with your abilities, to have the deck work with you in unison? What does it take for you? If you're allowed to tell me. I mean, if not, I understand
You
that.
just kind of like, if you really like a deck and you really want to do readings with a deck and you're, drawn to a certain deck, then you just kind of like, I have a lot of decks, right? This is all a lot of tarot decks here.
How many decks do you have, Anna?
So
How many?
counting just tarot. I have
Yeah,
oracles too, but just tarot, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, I think 14, 15 maybe.
15.
14 or 15 just tarot decks.
Wow.
But so whatever deck I'm drawn to at that time that speaks to me the most is like, which I focus on more, and I sometimes notice things that I never noticed in it before. Like, you always notice new things in the cards that you didn't notice before, and it's going to resonate with somebody out there that needed to hear that.
See, Star Lord is letting us know that I used to be a sort of a light worker. Hops mentioned some people sleep with their decks behind their pillow the first night. Is that
Yeah,
true?
I've heard of that. I've heard
Yeah.
of that.
Okay. Look at Hobbs dropping knowledge. At least from what I heard. Look at Hobbs. Ava says that you have some awesome deck of cards, and
I do.
uh, some shuffle and let a card drop out of the deck. I've seen that.
Well, I'll give you guys a little bit of a. I said I was going to do a reading for Patrick. That's, I think, was the deal. Like, he gave me an interview, and I was going to give him a reading.
No, you're gonna give Hobbs the reading. I'm okay.
Okay, so if you wanted to give your reading away to someone that that's fine too.
You don't mind that, right? I want to offend you. Yeah. Yeah, I want to go ahead and let Hobbs have a reading. I told Hobbs, you still up for it? I'm sure he is. I'm sure he'll be very excited to get it.
Yeah, like the let the card. Yeah, I usually do that sometimes, and if my arms are sore or whatever, then I will just maybe just shuffle them like. That's kind of funny. Somebody said the tower, right? And the tower is kind of intimidating, but really the tower is just sudden realization and things that have to really break apart for it to be put back together. You know what I mean? Some things you know how sometimes you have to like let's use them. I don't know why a motor came into my head, but my dad was a mechanic. But anyways, maybe his spirit's here with me. But like sometimes you just have to unscrew something and then rescrew it back in to make it work. Like that's kind of like what a tower is. Like something has to get undone to be fixed.
That's right.
But no, I just and it's also like it says happiness. The 10 of Cups was the next card right there. So when it depends on where what's next to the tower, that matters, all of it. That's all that what matters to you a lot. So if there is a card that's kind of a little bit scary for some people, it matters what's the card next to it. But yeah, so I haven't really been doing a lot of like reading how I want to. I want to do it like professionally, where I come on, do it every day, and do certain readings every day. And I've been trying to really organize that in my schedule, and I'm working on that. So I feel like it's going to happen any day now, because I am getting some educate. I'm going to an education place. I'm going to go see what they can help me with, like write up a business plan and all that good stuff. You know what I mean? So I can like put my business out there for real and have the logo and really expand.
Are readers, are you exempt from taxes? Or do they consider?
Oh God, no.
Do they consider what you do a religion?
I don't know, not a religion. I don't know what. No, I don't know. No, it's more like spiritual light work. It's like it's kind of like a counselor in a way, but through cards, you kind of do it and like whatever counseling or guidance or advice. It's any of the above, you know.
Hey, Big Matt is in the house. Katie's in the house. Andre's in the house.
Thank you, everybody, for being here.
Starlord says that he is a indigo.
Yeah, indigo and crystal children are children that are very sensitive, and they learn by feeling. So like the card, okay, so the angel cards that I pulled today for protection for everyone. That when I do this, that's for protection for everyone in the chat, you, me, everyone around us. And this is we have Archangel Santa Paul, which is victory, and it says, and it's purple, so that means it's a good thing, like spiritually and good. It's good spiritually, as above so below. But it also says your prayers have been heard and answered. Your prayers have been heard and answered. Have faith. And then the second one was Archangel Michael. Everybody knows Archangel Michael. And it says, remember who you are. You are a powerful and loving, creative child of God. And then it says, gentleness, being gentle. And that's where the sensitive people come in, which is like the indigo and crystal children. And it says Archangel Santa Paul. And you can look up any of these angels as an astrology, because they all have an astrology placement too. We all are astrological beings. But anyways, you can have friends that are earth angels that have that energy of this angel. Okay. So just so that you guys know that. And it's Archangel Santa Paul. Be very gentle with yourself at this, and surround yourself with gentle people and situations. See? And then healthy lifestyle, getting lots of sleep, exercise, and that's for optimum health. And I'm not reading yet, so I'm just seeing what comes out, and this will be for whoever. And then you got the moon cycles, right? And that's about feeling, right? Which someone in the chat said about indigo people and children, right? To me, everybody's children, right? So when I say children, that's everybody, it's adults too. So moon cycles, it says the Archangel Haniel, notice how the moon affects your energy, capitalizing on this energy. When you have all of this energy, capitalizing on that time. And that's, yeah, and moon energy. And then the moon came out again. Where's my camera? And then the moon came out again, right? So the moon, it came out again, which is like about, and Pisces energy is about your spiritual side. Also, it says intuition, dreams, and so like for some people are very much in an anxiety and fear energy as well, to speak about what they really feel. Okay, so a lot of people have problems with that, speaking about what they feel, because there's that throat chakra, and that's about speaking about what you feel. And that's just general people in here.
Are chakras, are they in the cards too, or are they stones?
Chakras, they are just colors, actually. Colors, yeah. And chakras are we have 7 chakras that help us stay aligned, which are like
the forehead, heart, arms, and legs.
I have them all here. See, I have stones that I painted with all the chakras. And actually, the angels come in chakra form too. But we got the crown chakra. We got the third eye chakra, which is your third eye, which is your knowing. Then you got your throat chakra. It's about speaking about what you know. And then you got your heart chakra, which is green. And then you got your solar plexus, which is yellow, which makes you happy, which is like bright and happiness, right? Things that make you happy. And then, so it could also be considered the sun. Sacral chakra, which is orange, which makes you trust. And the red, or it can be brown, is your root chakra, which helps you stay grounded with your energy and also with your physical energy. All right, did Hobbs have a question?
Hobbs, you're up.
Cards for a while now, so.
Is there anything I need to do other than let you talk to Hobbs? Is there anything you need from me?
No, he can just put his question in the chat, and then I just answer it, and he can hear it right here, right?
Okay. Yeah. Okay, Hobbs, you're up. You can ask your question.
And if you want to bring him up, you can.
Yeah, I could do that. Hobbs, you want to come on up? I can send you the link. Yeah, let me send that to him. That's a good idea, actually. Yeah, let's see. Let's go with this.
So most people, they split the deck when they start the deck. They shuffle for a while, and then they split the deck, and I split it, and then I do body, mind, and spirit. But I don't know what everybody else does. But I do body, mind, and spirit. How I put them back together. Okay, he wants to just type it. All right, just put your question. If you want to put it in the private chat, you have to probably click on the link, but to do it in the private chat. But if you feel comfortable to put your question out, you can just do it. Do that. Depends on, like, you can ask. You can say if you just want like a general question about love or life, or you can say whatever subject you want me to answer. I don't read about like physical health because I'm not a doctor.
Now, are all decks, are they all the same with the same cards in them, or is each deck different with different entities in them?
Each deck has like different artwork. Unless, like, the original deck was Rider's Waite, which is this deck, which is very bright. It's very general, and that's like the general tarot deck. But then there's like there's a lot of readers that create their own deck. I am working on my own deck too, my own deck tarot, right? So and also an oracle deck. But then there's like readers that use imagery or suggestions of the same energy, but in a fairy tale way, because this one here is the folklore and fairy tale deck, and that has a lot of the fairy tales in it. Like, it has a lot of like fairy tale energy. Like Aladdin is here. Like Aladdin is in there. And then you got the the fighters, and this is like very like and then you got the Empress, right? She's like the Holy Mary, right?
Wow. Is that your question, Josh?
I didn't read the question yet.
He answered. He asked two. He asked one, how serious is this health condition? But you said that you're not a doctor. But then he asked, and when will he find peace in life? And then the second question is, do or are the spirits of the undead trying to contact him? Yes. Well, he didn't fool around with his questions.
The spirits of the undead. You mean, well, and my belief in my spiritual and belief that I believe in, I believe there is no death unless it's unless someone was a very bad person, then they may, I don't know, die. But I mean, like, if their spirit wasn't trying, if their spirit wasn't good, that's what I mean. Like, so I feel like general people, they have good spirits, and I feel like generally people that pass away, their spirit will visit us, support us, help us, be there when we need them. We just have to ask them. I have a spirit visits me every day and I know exactly who it is, and we have our own way of knowing that it's him. So, and when I doubt myself, he tells me, "I'm here for you." So, yeah.
All right, I'm going to shut up.
That reading. Sorry, that was just intuitively and already what I'm experiencing. So
I'm going to
do the reading. Sorry.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I'm going to shut my mouth and step back and let you do your thing.
No, go ahead. You can, if you had a question, go
ahead.
Oh,
no. I'm not going to interrupt. Go ahead, Anna. It's all yours.
So you want to know if you have loved ones around you? So, all right, I'm going to use this deck. So I'm going to use this deck. Well, see, I also have talking to heaven cards, so I don't know if I want to answer that one from heaven, right? Because that, you know, we all know we have loved ones that are around us, but maybe from the messages from heaven, you'll know who they are. So that question I might answer with the other cards. And what was the other question? Like me, because you know, the questions people have, I have to discern which cards to use. You know what I mean? And sometimes we have to talk to heaven. And Eva says she gets visited a lot. What was the other question, Patrick? Do you remember?
Yeah. He also asked first part. He asked when he's gonna find peace in his life. When will he find peace?
Okay. When will Hobbs find peace in his life? Angels and spirit guides of Hobbs' highest good and our highest good. Woo! Well, I feel like you are very grounded. You got the king of coins, which is king of pentacles, which is king of earth. You may see death a little bit different after. You may not be afraid of death after this reading. I don't know what it says here, because it says you are stable, you are grounded. You are the king of pentacles. Are you an earth sign? If you're not an earth sign, then it means that you are very stable. And you could also be a Pisces. But it's saying that you're really you're looking at love, because this card, she shows like this hangman here is this figure here, and this figure here is holding a heart, but she is holding the heart, but she's holding it right side up, but she's upside down, so it's right side up to her for him. But they look really relaxed, so it's like getting enlightened about, you know, something you're afraid of, right? Something you're afraid of, because what's behind the curtain, right? So what fell? You're afraid of love. You're afraid of your emotions. You're afraid of just like divine love. This is like the Ace of Cups. I feel like that's like, you know, fear holds us back. You know, fear holds us back from our happiness. And fear lies to us. It's our mind. You know, sometimes we have to use our mind with our heart. The Nine of Cups on the bottom of the deck is your dream, your wish for happiness. I feel like it is there, but I feel like you have to recognize it. And you could be connecting with someone here that is someone that really gets you emotionally. It could be like a best friend, you know, like you're a guy and you could have a guy best friend, but you guys are like two peas in a pod. Could be Patrick. I don't know.
Yeah, you're probably right about that. Yeah. me and Hobbs are peas in the pod.
I feel that from you guys. I feel like you guys are friends. All right, let's see. Why is the King of Pentacles here? For when will Hobbs find peace? I feel like you are finding peace, and you're finding your peace, and you know what makes you feel peaceful. I feel like you're aware of your energy, so you're learning how to really ground it if you are not, because this King of Coins here. Let's see what to clarify the King of Coins. Yeah, King of Wands and Eight of Cups. Yeah, you're heading towards higher fulfillment, like more spiritual fulfillment in your life. That's what you're heading towards. You're walking away from anything that is like not making you emotionally fulfilled. And that's also spiritually, emotionally fulfilled, because you got the King of Wands here and you got the Eight of Cups is like not the Nine of Cups, is not the 10 of Cups, right? It's the Eight of Cups. So emotionally, things are not making you happy like you want to be, right? And leaving you with confusion, but you have a lot of options. So I feel like you're heading towards something that's going to make you feel grounded and also spiritually and emotionally grounded. Let's move on to the clarifying the Hangman here for Hobbs. Why is the Hangman here for Hobbs? For when he's going to find peace? Because you're manifesting it already. You're already doing it. You got the Magician here with the Hangman. So getting the enlightenment, getting the, seeing things from a different point of view, seeing it from like, how I'm explaining it here. Maybe that's what it's saying here. Like seeing it from the other point of view could be this point or however you see it, but you are manifesting it now. You are manifesting your peace because you know how. You have all the tools. You have all the energy. Like you may have all the friendships around, or you may feel all that energy, or you may have that in your chart, because it's a good idea too to find an astrologist that does read your chart and get your chart read so that you know where you have fire, where you have emotions, like water, where you have air, where you have what makes you feel grounded, like, you know what I mean, where you have those placements in the air and the moon energy and all that, like in the pie shell. I always say the pie, because we are all a piece of the 12 slices of a pie, basically, on astrology wheel. So why are you afraid of what's behind the curtain? Why are you afraid of what's behind the curtain? Why are you afraid of what's behind the curtain? Ooh. And I don't read these cards upside down. Like I don't read that energy on these ones. I only do it with the ones that have the upside down and the other side, both versions of it.
Why is that?
Because that's how I feel like there's enough cards to explain anything in a backwards way if they wanted to speak to me that way. So
Okay.
So okay, because you have a lot of options. That's why you're afraid. That's why you're a little bit afraid to see what's behind the red curtain, whatever that is for you. I'm gonna also read off who the people could be in your life, or what the energy is. Like the energy is that you're afraid of something. The transformation, you because you have a lot of options, and you got the Four of Cups because you don't want to have regrets, because you don't want to like choose the wrong thing. So that's why you're really doing the enlightenment, trying to see things from every angle, so that way you can make the right choice. And this is the Ace of Cups, so that way you can clearly see when something is overpouring of love, a new start, a new way of like feeling happy. And look, the Fool card is always about having faith and moving forward. The Chariot and being successful. The Six of Wands talks about success. All right, so why is the Ace of Cups here? When is Hobbs going to find peace? And like this Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups is total peace in your heart. That's the Ace of Cups. So you are doing everything right. You are making sure that you're not going to regret something, because the Four of Cups talks about regrets. So you don't want to make any mistakes. So, but you are the Magician. It's saying here that you have all of the energy around you to your disposal that you need to create your peace. And that's what you want, because so you're afraid of love because you've been left out in the cold before, or opening up your heart. So you're afraid of opening up your heart to find that peace because you've been left out in the cold before. So I feel like that you are now, you could be walking your spiritual path now, and you are still, you're still very conflicted and holding back your energy, though, what I'm seeing. So why are you feeling Five of Cups? Why are you feeling Five of Cups? You feel like you're going to be left out of a new offer. Something that's going to make you feel stable. See, fear? Don't let fear interfere. Hey, that rhymes. I'm going to put that on a card. Don't let fear interfere. Look, Knight of Wands on the bottom of the deck, Hobbs. Go after what you want. Knight of Wands is going after what you want, and Three of Wands. I feel like you want to climb the ladder, and Maybe it's for success, or maybe you want to, like have like something traditional. Am I about on point? Anything advice about the magician and this new offer of love and also a stable start for Hobbs? Any advice?
That is fantastic, Josh.
It's asking you to be spiritually strong because you got the strength card, and it says that justice. So justice is going to happen for you. And I feel like you have been leaving yourself out. Mentally, you've been leaving yourself out. You've been too afraid to make an offer here. Knight of Coins. You've been carrying a lot of burdens, but I feel like you're going to reach the top here. You're going to be successful. And you're going to have something that you're going to feel that's right for you and feels right for you. So I hope that reading helped you. You're not giving up.
How many cards are in a reading? How many cards do you use to be able to read somebody, or is that subjective?
It's different for everyone. Yeah. It differs from because I don't never like to leave people with a question. Like when they have a question, I would like to answer that question where they can see it makes sense, and they can see that they can work with that energy, whatever they heard, and they can work with that energy to make their whatever they want happen. And I only work for the people that want positive things to happen. So if there's someone out there manifesting negative things, I'm not there to help them. So I only do things for the highest good of all. That's how I do it. That's where I'm different. Like I don't just take on anybody's energy. I'm not No,
you know, yeah. That takes a whole different ability to do something like that. But that was fantastic.
Thank you.
That was great.
Does anybody in the chat have like questions for me, like about tarot?
Yeah. Feel free. People can drop questions now. That's good. That's good. Drop questions. If any questions for Anna, please do so. Yeah, Hobbs. I'm sitting over here. Nodding my head like, oh yeah, she's right on point.
I love doing it. I just love getting into it. I love when I'm in the energy where I can do it.
And again, I got to point this out to you right here. Did you notice her inflection in her voice? There was never a guessing or leading on. It was all like statement of fact. That's ability. That's skill right there. There's none of that. Well, I sense this, right? No, she's telling you exactly what she read. It's very impressive and a little scary.
Very spot on for those who know me. Oh, I did say it was going to tell you who the people were. I guess the energy explained it enough. You could have been, you could have like a lot of people. Like I feel like every sign in your energy, I feel like you have everybody. Like it said, you had all the energies. That's all four of them plus God, right? So.
All right, we got some questions coming at you. The Ice Lord, Horror Tuber of the Month, Ice Lord. Anna, what are your thoughts on the Thoth Tarot deck? Thank you, Wes, for that.
Do I have that one?
Is that an Egyptian-based deck?
I know about that deck because I do follow a reader that kind of showed the deck. I think it was like a deck reveal, and I don't know if that was it was a male that I think created it.
People are not allowed. You don't like people to handle your decks, do you? That's sort of like not really welcome nor wanted. I mean, if someone walked into your room and they picked up one of your decks, that's something that's not really you don't really like, right?
I'm more about my space. Like, don't touch my chair. Like nobody sits in the chair unless you are the Empress.
All right. Let's see. So, and then Hobbs asked, do some of the cars, or are they also based on the time of year or the season? Do you have different decks you use for time of year or seasons?
Oh, good thing he brought that up because I did bring out my Moonology deck. This is a Moonology deck. It's it talks about the moon energy, and since we are very close to the full moon in Leo, I think it's Leo, yeah. I think it's the full moon in Leo, which is the snow moon. And on the 5th of February, I think we have that moon. So I was just going to do a quick message for the people that are manifesting with the moon energy with this deck, actually. And this is the moon energy. Let the moon be your guide.
Star Lord wants to know, what is your life path number?
I can't remember. I did do the numerology. I did learn that too. Good question though. Like that was a good like, you know, testing question. Like how much, what is she all into? But yeah, I'm into the numerology too. I did learn some numerology, but I can't remember when I did do it. I did figure it out. But I can tell you all of my areas where I am and the planets, like where the planets and which sign I am in my planet. Like my astrology chart that I was talking about earlier. I did my own online, and it was one you can do it somewhere for free. And I did that, but I think I don't know if it's still available at Astrology Cafe. And anybody can go there and just like type in your birthday and stuff, and it tells you all the planets and all over the area they're in. Any more questions? Interesting.
Yep. We got yep. I think there's more questions. Ice Lord. I'm sorry. Keep on forgetting this. Horde Tuber of the Month. Ice Lord mentions it's the only deck that he was ever gifted. I guess he was gifted a Thoth deck.
Oh yeah, I do know about that deck. So like, do I have that? Let me see if I do have that one. Because it seems very familiar. Let me just check the title.
Thank you guys all for coming out tonight. I'm very happy to see such a nice turnout for Anna, and I want to thank her in advance for sharing her gift with us and doing a reading. That was very kind of her to do that.
No, I do have the Celtic Tarot. No, this one here is a Celtic Tarot, and it's also a lot of realistic people in it. Like has like the Celtic Tarot is also very like much like the stories of like the folklores and fairy tales and stuff like that, because this is like supposed to be like the real Romeo and Juliet as the lovers in this deck. But all right, let's pull a moon card. Anybody else? You guys can ask me the questions as I pull moon energy here for everybody. Like I'm just gonna do the collective, whoever's in chat, who has ever needed to hear something today. This is quite inspirational. Thank you so much. Thank you all for being here. This is the first time I've ever been asked to interview, to be interviewed, and I loved it. I don't mind answering questions. I love the questions.
See, I think, I like I mentioned, it's a really fun format, and you just ask questions. You're just talking like, if we were sitting at somebody's house and we're just relaxing and talking, this is exactly what it'd be like, and we're basically what it is. We're just sitting in an electronic living room.
Yeah, so I wanted to just say, because I've been noticing lately, and I've been also being more aware of it, but I don't just go and subscribe to everybody on this channel unless they want me to, okay? Because this is my tarot and spiritual channel, and some people are not into that or against it or whatever. I don't want to be following them on this channel if they don't like that. So when I have my other channel, Crafty Traveler, right? So if they just want to know me as a person and whatever I do, then follow me on that channel. So then ask me to follow you or whatever, or just say I'm following you. So, like if you follow me, then I know you. Well, I don't want to be an imposter. I don't go out searching for people. I feel like
there are a lot of imposters out here. I mean, I know a couple right off the bat that they seem to think they know what they're doing, and you don't have to be intuitive to know, or empath to know that they're full of shit. And
Yeah.
that is a problem. That is a problem when you see people trying to read cards and they're not. Like I said, I could go get a deck of tarot and read, but doesn't necessarily mean I know what I'm doing. And so I really do respect your ability. That's why I asked you to come on here. I think
Yeah.
it's incredible.
Like on my small channel, like I mean, on my regular life channel, I don't mind like just being like, see, it's like almost like people always want to be real with me on this channel, like when it come in, but the other channels where we can just really be open about anything in life and just talk and whatever. And, you know, I don't, and I also been accused of being as whatever, some kind of sex worker. When I went into somebody's chat, a guy's chat that I had followed for years, and because of my name said Kasslove 111 Tarot, he assumed I was some kind of dating sex chat or something like that, and he really really sent some negative energy towards me, and my body starts shaking, and I was just like, oh my god, like, oh, he just talked to me like that, like I'm just like, I left him another message. I'm very insulted. I will now unsubscribe from you. And that was I think the guy's name was Mobility or Mobile, some guy, Nomad. Like I've been following the nomads for years. I mean, like I am pretty much a minimalist. So I was really scared on that freaking guy's channel. He was like, he treated me like a piece of meat, and like like a very low vibrational man would. And
Do you think it's basically because what people just are, they just, when they see you and they see what you do, I think a lot of their reaction, as far as the negative reaction goes, it's just like what everybody does. They always react negatively. It's not because they're necessarily cruel-hearted, but a lot of times it's because they just don't understand, or they're scared of the unknown. So they tend to attack more than they do in trying to get an education. No, I have never seen. I am personally myself. I have never seen. I've seen everybody that comes inside your room. I've seen them be very respectful towards you, and as they should.
I've had to be a bee. I've had to be a real, like, oh, I've had to be a Queen of Swords in the past. I've had to put some energies in their place. And I've told a piece of people, like, I'm just, the rest of you guys, don't worry, it's not for you. But I had to do this today. Like, I had to do something. I had to say something. Some people think they can overcome in there and overpower you, or overpower your chat, or trying to get people to come to their chat as a reader. Had that
Oh
happen. Promoting their readings in my chat. I wouldn't even do that to another reader.
no, I wouldn't either. I wouldn't. Yeah. Well, again, it's like how many of those readers actually know what they're doing? I mean, a true reader would never do anything like that. They would not do that kind of behavior. It's like, there's protocols, there's respect, there's boundaries. Those who really understand that, they would never do that to another. Those that come in there like a bull in a china shop, again, it's just another sign of what they say is what they don't know.
Mm-hmm.
um
I don't allow
now
nobody to
let me
treat
do
my
I do
people
gotta ask
bad.
you, one question, though. I'm curious about this. You are very much a night owl. Now, is that because you're feeling all the energy that you've had to use during the day? Do you have a hard time sleeping or getting rid of your energy at the end of the day?
I feel like during the day, a lot of times I do a lot of thinking, a lot of contemplating, a lot of thinking, a lot of contemplating, a lot of planning, and then at night, just when I'm ready to do it. It's like weird.
Yeah. I've actually stayed and watched you, like you clean your room and you moved your mattress one night and you
I
cook
did
and
all the
everything else.
cleaning today too. Like I changed everything around, as you can
Yeah.
not notice. Like,
I was just wondering. To me, I was just wondering. It's like a battery that's been overcharged. You got to get rid of some of that excess energy, and I'm wondering if that's part of what it is during nighttime.
yeah, most of the time, but I've like recently I've kind of starting to kind of uh work with the energy and fix it a little better. Um But then there's something that comes up, and then I, usually when I have an appointment in the morning, then I can't sleep the night before. So that already happened this week. I have insomnia. And usually at night is when everything's quiet, is when I can really just be in my own mind and know what's mine and not everybody else's.
Was your insomnia, did you have insomnia before you started reading?
I've had insomnia since I was born.
Okay.
I never remember myself being any kind of different way. I've always had a hard time sleeping at night. 2-3 o'clock in the morning is like when earliest I would go to sleep.
Let's see.
I'd get up at like 12 or 1.
Let's see. Star-Lord mentions let me fix that, Ava. I'm sorry. Let me do that. I can do that. I can fix that. There you go.
Well, thank you for doing posting my link. Thank you. All right, let's see what's the moon energy. I just looked at the moon before. Sorry, I just looked at the moon before when I went out and took my doggy out, and it's about 3/4.
Now you do. You know what? I'm gonna say that for your return visit. So what are we doing now? Are you gonna do a general moon reading for everybody, or is this?
Yeah, I'm just gonna shuffle the cards and see what comes out for the collective people on here. When I say collective, it's whoever is in the chat, whoever's, I always say that, but it's for the people that are here supporting. That's the people that these messages are for. So this is to manifest your blessings in your life. So let's see, what are the messages for the people that are in this chat tonight and that are going to watch later, that are Hobbs's friends and my friends and whoever joins this group of beautiful people. Let's see. What is the messages from the moon? Archangel Senapol, Archangel Michael, and Archangel Raphael. What is the energy? Ooh, I like when they turn over, but that's going to be a lot of, only one card turned over. I love when they turn over. I love when every reader has their best ways of the cards coming out. I love when they turn over and it's just like, this is the one. So it says, fiery climax is approaching full moon in fire. We are a full moon in Leo, but this card is about Aries, which is about your new starts. So it's also fire, and this is about everything is like, fiery climax approaching. That means that very powerful energy is coming. Like the full moon is like releasing anything that has not helped anyone in the past. And if you've been doing something in the same way and you've always failed, try doing it in a different way. But use that full moon energy to feel what you're feeling, because the full moon energy makes our emotions run high, because we are 70% water. And I explain that logically to everybody. So everybody knows that when there's a full moon, we are a little bit out of whack when it comes to our emotions. And there comes the person I've already got this person blocked on my channel. So block this person.
Okay.
They found me. So yeah, I feel like that positive new starts are starting, because Aries energy is all about new starts. It's about Aries is the first zodiac of the year. So what else? What else is for advice? So new moon. So after a full moon, there's retrograde. There's like shadow retrograde, and then there's actually retrograde, where the things that we have to let go come out, and then the things that person is a troll. You guys block her?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I know that person. They've already been blocked on my channel.
Okay, we'll just go ahead and remove them forever.
Have faith in your dreams. So the waxing moon. The waxing crescent moon, which looks like that. And Ava in the chat, she knows all about moon energy. Have faith in your dreams. Ooh, yes.
Am I allowed to intersect, or do I just need to stay quiet?
No, you can talk.
Um, so what it says Terror Destroyer. Now, are you victimized, or are you persecuted by like religious types?
Oh, not just them, but also like the evil tarot readers or the evil people that pretend to be Christians. There's a lot of pretend Christians out there.
Oh
They're
hell yeah!
using the word Christianity as as a word to enter the people that are like maybe vulnerable, that may be grieving.
Hmm.
Um, so there's always these people that want to scare people, like this one here.
Yeah. Well,
So we
Hob,
got, it says the time to release the negative energy. This right here, stuff like that. Release that. Don't take any of you guys in the chat. Don't take anything from these type of people. Don't take
Hob,
nothing, not even a word of it.
yeah, Hobbs already destroyed him.
Yeah.
The destroyer got
He already
destroyed.
whacked them. He's the moderator that whacked them. And it says, don't let your past hold you down. Your past is your south node, okay? Your future is your north node. Focus on your north node, not your past, which is your south node. Conclusions are within reach. So things are going to come to fruition. Surrender to the divine in a full moon. Give it to God, right? And surrender to the divine. Take the time to breathe out. Like, give yourself time to relax. And this is the moon energy we are in right now. Right there. That's what the moon looked like tonight. And this is the full moon, and on the 5th is the full moon. And also on the 5th, like the dates, everything, numbers are very, very synchronistic. Fives are about changes, are about creativity, and also about they can also be about fighting or competition, right? So the 5th is the full moon, which is the full moon makes people already very emotional. And then having conflict on top of that could be a little bit like, emotions running high, right? So it says that, it says surrender to the divine in a full moon. Make sure that you just give everything to God on the full moon, and then you're safe. Your commitment is being tested. Communication is key. So the new moon, communication is always key in the new moon. It says new moon in Gemini. Gemini is all about the Mercury energy. Mercury is about communication. So communicate what you guys want. That's what it's saying. Communication is key. And the new moon, that's when the new moon is out. That's when you say what you want. When the full moon happens, you say what you don't want anymore. You let go of anything you don't want anymore. When a new moon comes out, then you say what you want. You put out what you want.
Mm.
So communicating that is key. And that's what I got for everybody.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you, Hobbs, for a fast wrench. Yeah, he didn't see that deck coming.
I know the Tarot Destroyer got a creepy doll face.
I want to thank you for coming out and sharing your story with us tonight, Anna. I hope you had a great time, as much as fun as we had with you. I hope you had just as much fun with us. Of course, the chat. Thank you guys so much. You guys rocked it out yet again. I feel really energized as the last couple of weeks. I feel like we're really on the verge of something popping here. So keep on coming out. You never know what we got coming. We got some also. Well, I do know what's coming. Starting tomorrow, we'll be inviting Angela from Morbid Heart Designs. Will be here with us tomorrow night at 8:00. And it's been a long time since we've had Angela on the show. And we will be joined by special co-host, none other than Hobbs Horror. That's right. So Hobbs, myself, and Angela will be here tomorrow at 8:00. Next Tuesday, the 7th, we have 2 shows. Like today, we have 2 shows today. We have 2 shows on the 7th. At 4 o'clock here, we will be talking to actress Crystal Martin, who starred in the movie The Mean One with David Howard Thornton, who played Art the Clown. So they did a horror comedy movie that broke out during this past Christmas season and did very, very well. And she'll be here to talk to us on the 7th at 4 p.m. And then at 8 p.m., we will have film director, screenwriter, and small library advocate John Oak Dalton will be here with us at 8 o'clock. On the 8th of February, and I don't say this very often. Actually, I'm saying it twice. I'm saying it twice this month. But if you're going to see 2 shows this month, if you're going to see just 2 shows, hopefully you'll see them all. But the one on the 8th is one you want to come to. We're talking to metal sculptor Kevin Stone. You have to see what this guy is doing. He is phenomenal. His work is incredible. It's the craziest artist I've had on the show by far. I mean, I know it's a different type of medium that he's using. I mean, Angela and Griffin and Maureen, they're all excellent in their fields. I have never seen metal sculpture before. I've never seen it, not on this level. But Kevin Stone will be here with us on the 8th. Just amazing piece of amazing artist. That'll be at 8 o'clock. And then on the 9th of February, a Thursday, a week from tomorrow, we will be having actress Debbie Scalata will be here with us. She has starred in a lot of great films, including one movie called The Curse of Lilith Ratchet, which we will be talking about soon here on the channel. She'll be here at 8 o'clock. She is another Ohio-based performer. I have been talking to a lot of artists from Ohio lately. And then the last week, the 3rd week of February, before I let everybody go, on St. Valentine's Day, we will be having our good friend Echo will be here. Echo will be here on St. Valentine's Day because we're just a couple of guys with no love lives. On the 15th of February, we have ex-Danzig bass player Jerry Montano will be here with us. That's right. Danzig will be here. And we will be talking music and movies with Jerry. Super nice guy. Really cool guy. Can't wait to talk to him. Great to talk to another musician again. I really enjoy it. I try to find him as much as I can. But we got Jerry Montano will be here with us. I forgot one date. I'm doing some Saturday dates.
Drop down now and
I'm
let
doing
you
some.
finish. Want me to? Want me to drop down and let you finish?
No, just stay right where you're at. Just one more read. One more. On the 11th, a Saturday, I have a podcast group called The Friendly Men. They will be here at 1 p.m. And then on the 16th, I will be talking to Rocky Carledge. He's the gentleman I was supposed to interview yesterday. We rescheduled him back to the 16th. After that show on the 16th, we all go to the Midnight Hour as Galen Howard will be the guest of the Midnight Hour crew. Yeah, that'll be fun, 10:15. Everybody else, thank you guys so much for thank you so much for coming out and supporting the show. I appreciate it so much. Anna, stay right where you're at. To you guys in the chat, thanks for yeah, no kidding, Wes. See what you get to see here at the channel. Yes. We will talk to you guys soon. Tomorrow night, me, Hobbs, and Angela. Have a great night, everybody. Be safe. Bye.